Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I'm OYOKO, but you can call me V. So I'll be straightforward with you. Today is the day. Today is when I am going to take shrooms for the very first time. And I've surrounded myself with people I trust. I went to a different place. Well, this is not my home, but it feels like home. I'm close to the beach. I'm going to the seaside because I have a thing for water. So I'm going to go there, be at peace, and then maybe like an hour from now, max 2 hours from now, I'm going to take it. And I'm excited, but also I do not know what to expect. I've done as much research as I could. I read articles, I've watched documentaries, and went on YouTube and watched loads of different videos, also personal videos, people that have taken shrooms for the very first time, what their experience was. And that's the reason why I'm filming this, documenting my experience for those who might be in that position and they want to just learn about other people's perspectives on their first time. By no means am I promoting drug use. That's not the purpose of this video. It's more to show, my experience and how it went for me. So what I'm planning to do is record this video up until I'm about to take the shrooms, possibly. I think maybe, or might stop filming earlier, but it's fine. I'm gonna do pre-shroom intake and then after the intake. So I'm gonna do it before and after. I don't know. I'm not someone that takes substances, well, let's say non-prescribed substances. So I don't know. Like I'm talking gibberish now. Like I don't know what to expect. I'm not nervous, but well, one of the reasons why I want to take shrooms is to, gain some insights about myself. I want it to be an explorative and introspective experience. So here I am, planned the whole thing, and now I'm here, few hours away of taking the drug. I also love mushrooms. Like I love mushrooms. So I was like, mushrooms, shrooms, why not? Why not try, But yeah, I hope it will give me some inspiration, more introspection. I feel like I've been having a creative block, so it might open up other parts in my mind and have an influx of ideas that I can execute again. Well, not again, execute for the very first time. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just talking. At this point, I'm just rambling. So I'm probably going to end it. I brought my analog camera because I have to take a picture. I have to take a picture with an analog camera just to solidify the experience. Like put a stamp on it, like this is the day. They're coming back. I have to end it here. I will let you know how it goes. I might try and film during. If not, you will see me in a few hours. Wish me luck. Just took a shot and ate some chocolate, so we'll see. I'm slightly nervous, but I feel like I'm intentionally hijacking my body, my brain. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's hope for the best. So I'm back home now, and at the moment I'm not feeling anything. So I feel like it's just a waiting game. Just wait until I notice something. So yeah, I will let you know when something happens. Hi everyone, as you can see, I'm back home. It's been a week since I returned, and I thought, let me release all of my thoughts in the ending of this video. Let me wrap it up nicely and share my experience physically, emotionally, mentally, as well as the lessons that I've learned. So that's what I'm about to do. I've tried filming this a few times before and I kept on rambling. Like, I was talking for 50 minutes. That's not what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna keep it concise. I'm gonna keep it sweet. So, just so you know. I guess let me start with the experience, the physical experience. So, very briefly, when I walked back to the house, it took like maybe an hour or so for me to notice changes in my body, like physically, and also in my surroundings. I started to feel nauseous. I started to feel tired, like extremely tired. It was quite difficult for me to even grab a simple bottle of water. Like this bottle, it was hard to just pick up. So I realized, okay, it's kicking in. It's about to start. I couldn't see any visual cues. Like there was no hallucinations yet. But yeah, I realized, oh, I have a hard time focusing and concentrating on things. I have a hard time swallowing. For some reason, I'm not sure if that's a common thing, but I had a hard time drinking my water, drinking anything, to be honest, and also just swallowing, like saliva, anything. It was hard. So I thought, okay, let me try and, stay calm. And it took a while, but eventually I had to lie down and I was staring at the window, and the window had blinds in front of them. They started to, move very slowly, very, very slowly. And then I realized it was growing thicker. So everything around, well, most things around me started to look like 3D, like I was in a 3D reality. Shadows started to inhale and exhale, which I thought was very fascinating. I was mesmerized by that, to be honest. And and everything else started to like be more bold, be more colorful, vibrant. I felt my entire body, like I had sensation everywhere. As I said, I was lying on the floor. I could feel almost everything, all my muscles, almost. And what I mean by almost is I've been having like muscle ache because I've been practicing and rehearsing a lot. So I still had that prominent like feeling of ache, pain. So I was hyper aware of that. Essentially, I felt like a hybrid, like a superhuman, because all my senses were like sharp. Like every single thing was sensitive. Every single thing was amplified. It was beautiful, and at the same time, it was terrifying. It was terrifying. I remember that I was listening to music, and the music was so soothing. It was beautiful. And I realized that the music really contributed to the mood that was set and made me feel at ease. It was, it was okay. I was like going through it smoothly, which was really important to me. I tried to
divert from any negative thoughts, any negative thinking. So yeah, it was great to have like really mellow, relaxing music. And now I've grown to be attached to a few songs that I heard, which is nice because every time I listen to those tracks or to that artist, I think of that time that it was like this experience that provided me so much more insights, and it really showed how beautiful my my reality was and still is, and also the beauty of the human body. Since I was so hyper aware, I could hear almost everything. My own breathing, which was so nice. Inhaling and exhaling was so nice. I cannot even describe this in other words. I was just so in the present moment. And that's another thing that I realized, well, later on, reflecting on everything in hindsight. All the pressures that I put onto myself, all the self-limiting beliefs, all the fears, anything that suppresses me was gone, out of the window. I felt like there was like this constant state of catharsis. It was relieving, it was satisfying. I was sucked back into my younger self. I remember when I started to like feel a bit like weird, and I was giggling. I was like, I don't know where to even begin, because I don't want to make this part of the video super long, so I'm gonna try and like filter some of the details. But I remember saying to one of my friends, I'm starting to feel like I'm going mad, like I'm turning into a mad woman. Why am I suddenly like, oh, I want to touch this and taste that and see things differently, and I'm exposed, like there's so much stimuli. It was beautiful, but I was also kind of scared because it didn't feel like my complete self. And maybe my complete self is the limitations that I've put onto myself for many, many years, that I constantly, revisit in my day-to-day life. So I guess that's one of the lessons that I learned, that I got sucked back into my younger self. My inner child popped out, and I was in a state where I felt safe, where I could be very explorative. This entire experience was quite internal, so it is, personal, but it was just strange. Everything looked nice, and I wanted to analyze things and touch things and express my thoughts right there and then, and it was relieving. It was beautiful. It was wholesome. When it comes to the body, I realized I experienced music differently. I experienced sound differently. And let me tell you, as I was like tripping, because obviously hallucinations started to come in, I started to see things. And even when I closed my eyes, my brain was projecting all these different visuals, these different patterns, very vibrant and moving, and all these different things. I'm like, oh my God, let me just open my eyes, because what I'm seeing in my mind is just too much. So my reality then was more mellow. It wasn't like, oh my God, things are actually like moving and it's starting to, like, I feel like I'm actually going mad. It wasn't like that. It was a pleasant experience. But where I was going with this, as I was lying down and I was like staring at the blinds doing their thing and looking at the shadows moving around, I was also thinking of the past, the things that I've done, just like certain memories, as well as thinking of the future. I was even thinking about YouTube. What am I going to say to my audience? What will I share What will I not share? All of these things. Oh, that looks cool. So then I was stimulated again. So that was like four different things were happening. Then the music, the sound penetrating my eardrums. It was so nice. Like, it was like almost feeling how music, how sound, how the vibration was taking up the space. Gorgeous. It was great. It was beautiful. Whilst all of that was happening, I was aware of small things happening in my body. You know, small spasms even, or, you know, a tingling feeling or whatever. All of that, I'm like, oh my God, that is happening as well. I am aware of almost every single thing around me and what's happening within my body. My friends were on their way to the garden. They stayed there for a bit and then came back, and they were talking, obviously. So I could hear in other rooms their conversations. It was as if I was in the room, hearing everything, witnessing everything, absorbing everything. I felt like a superhuman. And it made me realize it's like we're living soft life, and not soft life as in, like, you know, with the trends that's going on. Soft life as in our senses are contained, are, you know, covered. Like, there's like a cap. Because if we would live on a level, or if we would live the way I experienced everything in its full form, in its like bold and expansive state, I don't think I would survive. Like, I don't think I would survive of like 2 days. One day was already like, oh my God, very exhausting. 2 days, I think I will be out. So much stimuli. I was like, wow, the things that our brains are doing on a day-to-day basis. Incredible. Honestly, it's incredible. It's magnificent. I was blown away after, you know, processing things. As I said, it's been a few days, so I had time to process. I took some notes as well during the trip, and it was so hard to even think, but I really forced myself. I had time to like take one picture, and just, as you know, for myself as a memory, as well as, you know, record some parts for me to listen back to, because it was really it was an introspective moment for me, and I'm very grateful that I was allowed myself to experience life in this way, to experience reality in a different light. And I am filled with gratitude for that. There are so many moments. There are so many moments that I would love to describe in detail that made it eye-opening for me. Well, I guess there was one moment that I could probably share. A friend of mine was drawing a anatomical heart. She had like a book in front of her, like all about like the human body, and like literally everything about the organs, the muscles, every single thing was in that book. Anyway, she was drawing the heart, and I sat next to her, and her pencil, now was it a pencil? Well, the pen that she was using, the way it touched the paper, how it was filling the paper with color, everything so vibrant, so big, so it demanded my attention. Then her presence, how aware I was of that, her breathing, her concentration, then myself. You know, you're so hyper aware that everything you do is also like, oh, I'm doing this, and why is this feeling like that? My perception of myself also changed. I felt like a giant. I felt not clumsy, but it was like, oh, this is strange. This is my body moving in this way. It was yeah. I cannot describe it. It felt like an adventure. Everything felt like, wow. Like everything felt foreign. There was the simplest things in life, the simplest things I do every single day felt like a whole accomplishment, felt like an adventure, felt like I'm going to see how this will turn out, or how this feels like. Just simply washing my hands felt like, oh my God, what is this? It was interesting. It was interesting. I remember I got scared a couple of times. One of those moments was me going to the bathroom. It looked, it was like this ominous feeling that I got. Like everything looked like scary and dark, and the toilet looked creepy. But yeah, I pushed myself. At first I was like, let me go away very, very quickly. Let me try and pee and go. And then I went to the bathroom a couple of times, and then it was okay. Like I had to like get used to that idea of being in a space that suddenly felt terrifying. But yeah, those were the highlights, I guess. It was, yeah, it was an experience that I will never forget. It was a beautiful experience. I also ate strawberries, and oh, the sun is coming out. I don't know if I should move. Let me try and move. I'm back. I had to reposition myself because of the sun, and now I'm back to the original place. Yeah, I'm gonna try and keep it short, but what I wanted to share is the lessons that I've learned, some of the lessons that I have learned. Well, it made me think a lot about existence and how my reality was easily challenged, was easily manipulated. In some shape or form, I exist because of the reality around me. So if that is easily challenged, what does that say about how I view myself, about my existence, about my purpose in life? And I do seek these things. I do want meaning, but I am the one that gives it constantly meaning. It doesn't mean that life itself is meaningful. I give it meaning. I project all of these things onto life, onto people, onto experiences, onto all of these things. So I am essentially still in charge. I am still the creator. And I decide how this story will unfold throughout each chapter. And I have always believed that our senses are inherently flawed, but we are content with that. It is shaped by our experiences, our thinking patterns, our upbringing. There are loads of variables that contribute to how we perceive ourselves and our reality, or our environment. And yeah, just, reflecting on everything and the experience. It always goes back to childhood. It always goes back to childhood. It just made me realize that the amount of pressures and self-limiting beliefs and fears that I allow myself to have is so constricting. It felt so liberating to just be in the present, not think of stuff that worry me, not think of stuff that I'm fearful of. It was just me in the moment in a safe environment where I could explore, where I could be, innovative in a way, creative. And it just sucked me back into my inner child where I could do all of these things. I have nothing to worry about. It's just me and in the here and now. And it made me realize the amount of setbacks or the amount of restrictions are things that we often put onto ourselves. Not creating an environment where we could thrive, not mentally, not creating an environment where we could be our fullest selves. And it made me also realize that how important it is to invest in relationships, invest in the relationship with yourself, but also the relationships with other people. Life is fleeting. Life is what we make of it. What do we do with life? And how do we make the best out of this journey? And yes, I do seek purpose. I do seek fulfillment. I do seek joy and all these, different things that are pleasant in life to make this a nice experience, a smooth, riding experience. All of that doesn't really matter if I don't center the relationships that I have with myself, but also with the people close to me. Instead of only focusing on my accomplishments, what the next goal is, all of these, all of these different things. So yeah, it's interesting that psychedelics has done that for me. I feel like I'm rambling again, but essentially those were the main lessons, and I'm just very grateful for it. So do let me know if you have any recommendations, whether these are podcasts, books, philosophers, it can be anything. Music. I realized that I've grown a stronger connection with music as well. And certain songs that I have never heard are now one of my favorites, because when I was tripping, I was listening to those songs, and now they have a deeper meaning now. So yeah, my relationship with sound, with music, has deepened, has changed for the better, and I guess my overall view on life and how I now see things and experience things as well. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna end it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts, if you've tried it before, how your experience was, your first experience, or how many times you've done it. And I will probably see you in the next video. So I hope you are well. I hope you go well. I hope you stay well. And I will see you in the next video.